If you love the flavor of pickled banana peppers on your sandwiches, hot dogs, and burgers, you're gonna absolutely love this homemade banana pepper relish. It's perfectly sweet, tangy, and a little bit spicy. This recipe is really easy to make, and we usually make a few batches towards the end of the summer when our banana peppers are producing like crazy. This relish uses sweet banana peppers, which can be eaten at any point during their growth cycle. So it's perfectly safe to eat them when they're yellow, green, orange, or red. Though the flavor does tend to sweeten up a little bit as they ripen towards their final red stage. I'll also be using 1 sweet bell pepper, and any color is fine, and 1 small spicy red pepper. You can use Fresno peppers, cayenne, but I'm gonna use a red jalapeno today. And I did make this recipe a few days ago with a red bell pepper, where it's been sitting in the fridge infusing with flavor. So let's get started making the relish. The first thing I'm gonna do is chop all of my peppers and onion up nice and small and mince my garlic. And thinking of the consistency of relish, you want really evenly diced ingredients so that every spoonful has a little bit of everything. So I'm gonna chop up 1 cup of banana peppers, which is about 3 medium banana peppers, and weighed out, these were 6.5 ounces. I'm also gonna evenly dice my bell pepper nice and small and remove the inside and seeds. You can also use green, yellow, or orange bell peppers for a little bit of contrast of color. There are definitely 2 types of cooks in the kitchen. Those who are really good at slicing and dicing ingredients in perfectly uniform sizes, and those who are not. And I'm definitely not one of those people, but luckily Calvin is really good at chopping ingredients into uniform sizes. Now that all the ingredients are chopped up, I'm ready to start making the relish. In a medium pot, I'm gonna add 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1/4 cup of white sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of fine sea salt, 1/4 teaspoon of ground mustard, and 1/4 teaspoon of celery seed. And I'm gonna bring this to a boil and then reduce the heat when the sugar's all dissolved. Because there's not much liquid in there, this typically doesn't take too long, so definitely keep an eye on it. And now that the sugar is all dissolved, I'm gonna add in the spicy pepper and the banana pepper, but not the bell pepper. The bell pepper actually goes in later. And I'm also gonna add in the onion and the garlic. So at this point, I'm gonna let that simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes until everything starts to thicken up. Now that everything is a nice consistency, I'm gonna throw the bell pepper in for the last minute of cooking. We've made this recipe many times, and adding the bell pepper last really helps to preserve some of that crunch, and it drastically improves the texture. I'm gonna remove this from the heat and let it cool down for a few minutes. At this point, it's ready to jar up. And typically this recipe makes about 8 to 10 ounces of relish, depending on how big the bell pepper is. So you can use any size jar because it's not a long-term preservation recipe. It's gonna be stored in the fridge. So I'm gonna use the smaller jar just so it fills it to the top. And this is a pretty small batch, but if you have a large quantity of peppers from your harvest, you absolutely can scale this up and make more. Making a mess, making a mess, making a mess. All right, just gonna pack that down. Perfect. Smells so good in here, and this looks so beautiful. And as you can see, I used a red bell pepper for the recipe I made a couple days ago and a yellow bell pepper today, so there is a difference in the color, but they're both gonna taste really good. Now, this recipe is not intended for long-term storage, so you'll wanna keep it in the fridge where it'll stay good for a few weeks. And that's all there is to this relish. I'm gonna call Calvin in here to try the batch that I made a couple days ago. There he is.
Hey. I was wondering what you were doing up here. So stupid.
I'm putting that in. So this is the banana pepper relish. You've had this before, but this is the first batch that I've made this season. So maybe you forgot how it tastes. I don't know. I've always remembered it to be really good.
It smells amazing in here. That celery. I love this stuff.
I'm getting a huge spoonful of this. It's really good on its own too. Like you don't even
I know, you can just eat it.
And I made this a few days ago, and it's really crunchy. It's perfect. It really is perfect. I love this stuff.
Could not. Honestly, this is the perfect relish. It's like, I love when you get the moisture in there, and it just kind of fills your mouth with flavor. Perfect for like hot dogs and sandwiches. It's really good. Good job.
Where are you going with that?
Nowhere.
So let us know in the comments what kind of relish is really popular in your region and what you like to do with your banana peppers at the end of the season. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. All right, so...
Wait. I still have my mic on.
Just crunching.